So we're kicking it off with $20. We've got $549 left to meet that incentive. Get those donations in, and I'm going to hand it off to our new friends so they can introduce themselves and this wonderful game.
Hello everyone, I'm TheHellFridge, and today I will show you Frogun, which is a wonderful puzzle platformer, like inspired by old N64 and PS1 classic. It looks a lot like Mega Man Legends, it plays a lot like Chameleon Twist, and I'm gonna show off the SNES category, which means we're gonna collect all the items, all the collectibles and all the levels except the coins, because collecting coins is very slow. But I'm not alone today. With me is my good friend Giza Maluk. Introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi, I'm Mrs. Gizamaluk, or Giz, and yeah, I'm gonna help you out with some commentary in this great speed game, Frogun.
Yeah, I also want to mention that Giz holds most world records in the individual levels, so he's pretty good at the game too. Probably better than I am, I think, but he refuses to play the full game. So yeah, before I start, there's two things I want to mention. First, you already heard it, there's an incentive. There's a brutal rush, boss rush mode, where there's amped up versions of all the bosses. There's a really big and difficult skip past 1.5 of those bosses, and it's also pretty hard. Last time I did this category at a marathon, I finished the fight with 1 HP left, and it was a real butt clencher. So if you want to see me suffer, you should probably donate more. Also probably because of charity. More because of charity. Like, that other thing is second priority. The other thing is, I wouldn't be running this game properly if I weren't wearing my trusty frog hat that my fiance had made when I started running this game. So I think we're good to go, and I will be starting from a fresh file, and we'll be starting in 3, 2, 1, go! So I will steal a joke from a fellow runner named Trader. This game is about Renata, and she's out to save her parents, Luigi and Daisy. Like, you cannot unsee it now. They're caught by some like bugs in a temple, and we're gonna take our Frogun, which is a gun that can grab onto anything, and try to save them. And while I get started, Giz, can you maybe talk a bit about this game's mechanics? Like, what are we going to do now?
So, that frog gun you saw, it's just a gun with a long tongue. So what you want to do with it is that you want to grab things and you want to go fast towards them. Because walking is pretty slow, but as you can see there, the frog gun makes you go a lot faster. So you want to find, as many spots as you can where you can grab yourself further, so you don't have to walk everywhere. That is the main thing. And yeah.
Exactly. So this is the first level, and already like shows off all the things. Also, you're seeing all the collectibles. SNES, the name of the category, it stands for Speed Medal, Notes, Eyemeralds, and Speed Skull. No, Skull. Yeah. Which means Obsidian Skull, exactly. Which means in every level there's 2 Eyemeralds. They're eyes of an emblem. That's why they're Eyemeralds, not emeralds. It's pretty funny. There's a skull, which is hidden in like a special like skill challenge place. There's notes, which is like a very like that's just that it gives us more lore about the game. And the speed medal is given if you manage to finish each level under a certain time limit. And you want to do that all in one run. The interesting thing about this is that the notes and the emeralds, they carry over if you die. If you want to keep the skull, you have to make it to a checkpoint if you want to keep it. Otherwise, you lose it again. That's interesting for this category because that allows us to do death strats. So there will be some levels where we will intentionally take a death in order to teleport somewhere where it's more convenient to carry on with the level. And that's level 2.
Looking good so far. Yeah. And so this category is basically all collectibles, but no coins.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning, when like the community was new, we had a category called Wingless instead, where you were supposed to grab everything except for the speed. And over time, we kind of noticed that people didn't want to play it because if you walk around and grab all the coins, you kind of, the speed thing kind of disappears because the fast movement is using the the Frogun, but if you have to collect all the coins everywhere, it was hard to actually go fast in most places. So
Exactly.
it was replaced with this category instead.
So coming up
Just
is...
grab, yeah.
Yes. So whenever you see me grab over thin air and flying over nothing, that's a very scary thing. So that was probably the first of a lot of swaggy things that I'm gonna do. Geese might hate me for it. Other runners hate me for it. Like when I do a marathon, I do the swaggy thing whenever I can. That's why I choose a generous estimate, because there's cool tricks in this game and I want to show them off. And if they go wrong, that will cost some time. But at least I have tried to show you something cool. And
I will tell you when he could have.
That's what this game is all about.
A better strat or a safer one.
A better strat. Like you can tell me when I could have been an adult. I refuse though. So this level is actually on a timer in the beginning. There is a cycle. There is a moving platform up here, and it's coming very slowly. It hits the spot at exactly 20 seconds, more or less. That's felt earlier than normal. Anyway, we have to activate that green button there to get an Eyemerald, but there's sadly no way to skip this little like elevator ride. You can actually grab that first Eyemerald before... I have to take care of my health, sorry. Before you make it to the elevator, but for that you basically have to play it perfectly, and you also do not save a lot of time with it. So that's a swaggy thing that I will not do, because that's just overdoing it. That's where I draw the line.
Can you explain what the perfect grab is?
Yeah, that's, I think... Yeah, so... Oh no, I'm going the wrong direction. I'm going the 90% route. That's not what I wanted to do. So
thanks. Safe route here.
Absolutely. I will not... Here, I will also not do the swaggy thing. I could grab onto those notes there immediately and save a bunch of time, but it's a very, very risky jump, and...
You lose a lot of time if you die.
It's not worth it in a marathon. Exactly. But yeah, we were talking about perfect grabs. This game has a wonderful little feature. As you may be noticing, I can shoot the Frogun exactly twice in the air. This is wonderful, because for one, it gives me some extra air time when I need it. So if there's like a jump that's a bit wider than I want it to be, then I can get some extra distance out of it. The other thing that's great is whenever you hit a wall or like grab onto an item that you can, an object that you can grab onto, the counter resets, so you can like, again, grab twice. It also allows you to do infinite wall grabs, which make you like, we will see it exactly right now. And if you perfectly hit a ledge that's like 2 tiles higher than you are, you grab onto it. Like you can basically, instead of jumping, like you can jump up 1 tile, and that way you can go up places that are 2 tiles high. Like if you manage to do it perfectly. And this is the infinite wall grab. And usually you're supposed to like play this level, and we're just gonna go here and accidentally die. That happens.
Walk around other way.
Yeah, I could, but this is cooler. Like, we talked about this. We're gonna talk about this some more, for sure. And this is also the first level where we're gonna be using a death strat, because there's this Eyemerald, and we already got the skull, and there's just this death wall that just makes us die if we walk into it, and now we're back here. It saves, like, a tiny amount of time. Not too much, actually, but it's also just very convenient, because you grab the Eyemerald...
5 seconds or so.
Yeah, and you just want to immediately go the other direction. So yeah, I think coming up is another swaggy jump, and coming up is another unlucky death, but that's fine.
I think it's interesting to note though that with the death planes, because some of the levels have very weird placements of the death planes, death zones.
Absolutely,
So-
they're also like generally just like square tiles that are hanging around here. So this, yes. One great thing that also works is if you grab an item like one of these pots, you basically get an extra jump, an extra grab in the air. So instead of like using the Frogun twice, you can use it 3 times, and that makes things like these
Risky strat,
possible.
yeah. Okay. Might work. Looking good.
There we go.
There you go.
This is the hatter. He sells hats and is just there to block the exit because he wants to sell his great hats. But yeah, we're gonna be using that a couple times to do some tricky jumps that need some extra distance. And we're gonna talk about that character you saw there maybe more a bit later, but this is the first boss level, Prickly. Each world has 6 levels. There's 6 worlds, meaning there's 36 levels. And every 6th level is a boss fight. There's still items to collect, which we will do first here. That's one of those tricky jumps where you need the extra distance from the air stalling.
No big.
There we go. Exactly, it's a very easy jump. The camera here is a bit iffy though. Ah!
Yeah. And you want to get damaged, like damage boost from that rock or boulder.
I do normally do that. However, I have found out that it actually, like, for me, it sometimes screws up the Frogun movement. This specific section, like, causes me a lot of trouble, as you're seeing. So I'm gonna do this the somewhat slower, but for me, there I said that. So let's try it with the old way, but there we go. Of course, now it works first time. I've screwed that up so many times. I swear to God. I swear to gosh.
That's what I'm saying.
I suppose so, but for me, like I keep getting hit by that skull, by that boulder, and it just like throws off everything. For some reason, I'm like dying a lot in this level.
I usually go.
I'll
for
start
the
not doing that anymore.
Grab up to that part. Yep. Nice.
Yeah, like the air stalling jump usually works for me, but this time it didn't, so that's fine. So this is Prickly, and it's the only boss that has like evil RNG basically. So he's gonna stomp a lot, and there's gonna be a fly that we need to damage him, but there's also gonna be boulders, and the boulders can actually destroy the flies, taking the ammo off of us. If that happens in the first phase, there's nothing we can do. We just have to wait again until the end of the phase.
It's really annoying.
Now he's gonna do more jumps.
Yeah,
it's super annoying. It also just randomly gets stuck in the air if the hitboxes interact in weird ways. The physics in this game are wonderful. Like they're a joy to goof around with, frankly.
I agree.
So if like the rest of the fight is just gonna be more of this, so if there's like any messages or donations, this would be a perfect opportunity for that.
We do have some donations. Hold on one moment. We have a donation from Shovel Claws. It says, "Hi, Fridge. Let's get that incentive met. Can't wait to break Frogun Encore with all the Frogun gamers."
Shovel Claws, fellow runner, I love it. Shoutouts to Shovel Claws, great runner. Watch it stream. But yeah, that was Prickly. That's World 1. So we've been talking about health throughout this game. Throughout this run, we're going to collect some extra health that we unlock through chests in the hub world, which we can open because we do so many cool things like collect Eyemeralds and skulls and stuff. So by the end of the game, we will have 6 health, and we will also need that because on top of stuff like death strats, we're also going to doing a lot of damage boosting. You've seen me take a lot of damage already, mostly unintentionally, but there are also a couple of places later on where I will very intentionally be taking hits to be faster. And for that, it's really good to have all of that health.
I do agree with the chat. This game is very underrated. And
it is so underrated. Like, this... Absolutely, it's a wonderful game. So the any percent category, I think the world record there is sitting at around 43, 42 something. For this, we're at like 1 hour 12, but there's still like lots of room for improvement, and this game is very deserving of being run more. It was at GDQ, and it was a wonderful, wonderful run, and it definitely deserves more people to check it out. There's also going to be a follow-up soon that like even like that puts more speed tech. As far as it looks, it's going to be like an even speedier game. And yeah, like Frogun is definitely an underrated hit of last year.
You were talking about the health thing, and as a pure individual level runner, health is something you don't really think about much, but it's something you need to think about a lot in the actual run.
Yeah.
Like in a full game run, because you can easily die if you don't think about it and do like IL strats.
Yeah, if you start playing individual levels and then move on to full game runs, you notice that suddenly you have health. So yeah, that was another death threat.
That was good.
Collected some stuff, I died, went back to the beginning, and conveniently I can just turn around towards the end of the level and make my way to the skull zone. So another swaggy thing coming up.
Okay, here we go. Okay, nice.
There we go. So yeah, like whenever I have the opportunity, I will do these very irrational, swaggy things just to show them off. And if they go well, then it's great. And this went great. So there's a lot of jumps where you just grab onto something far off and infinite wall climb up there. Like once I'm climbing up, there is no surefire way to make it to the top. It's like a lot of rhythmically mashing the grab button and hoping it goes well. Eventually you can make it if you have the endurance to like climb the wall for as long as it takes, then you will eventually make it, but it's definitely like some sort of test. Oh no, that I did not want to happen. Ah! I do not.
And infinite wall climbing was extremely hard in the former patch, but it was made easier in the
exactly
most current one.
Like by introducing like the double grab in the air, that's become like way more accessible.
Some logic, something, and it also made it easier.
That's like that. I'm playing the game at 60 FPS because, at least for me, for some reason, that makes these perfect ledge grabs more consistent. I don't hit them as often if I like play on unlimited or something.
Yeah.
So coming up is another cool trick, which is like one of the first tricks you want to learn as a speedrunner of this game is this one. Just because it's not as hard as it looks, it feels incredibly cool, and it saves a lot of time, and it's just a cool swaggy jump.
Kind of
that's like
that's one out of those strats.
Yeah, like these kind of jumps are like the essence of speedrunning this game. Just like finding the longest distance that you can grab onto to skip large areas of the level. Like in any percent, you see very little of many of the levels. You do see a bit more in this category, which also makes this... I love this category a lot more than I do any percent. Any percent is fun, but this is wonderful because it just shows off so much cool stuff about this game.
And this level is a bit hard because it's like a cycle.
Like we started...
There's a platform that's going around, and if you miss the cycle, you can lose a huge amount of time.
Yeah, I think it's 11 seconds. So there's gonna be like an... Oh, I only have 1 health left, so I'm gonna start to pay attention to what I'm doing, but there's also...
Should be good.
No, I don't think I need that. I don't think I need that.
No.
There's nothing that can hurt me anymore, right?
Yeah.
So there's the elevator. I think I can make that.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I miss it, I can like infinite wall climb up that wall, which is still faster than waiting, but also a tiny bit riskier. Exactly. That's the push and pull of the infinite wall climb is really, if you drop it, you die, but if you hit it and if you nail it, then it's great. So this character, that's Jake. Jake is our rival in this game. You have not seen him before, even though he was on the hub world. That's because we're just gonna skip over or past his cutscene triggers, because naturally that's faster. Usually you're supposed to do the race, and then there's like a shortcut at the end that brings you to the beginning of the level, and then you can collect all of the stuff. But if you can just do what we do and skip over a lot of things, you can not do that and leisurely collect the stuff and never meet Jake.
Really
we will maybe meet Jake. So, yeah. This entire level is a mess, but I love it.
Ooh, nice. Wow.
Yeah, like I could have also attached to where the exit is. That was actually a bit too hardcore for me right now. But yeah, the reason we had to go to the end of the level first is there was a red button, and if you do not activate that, if you exit the skull zone, you just die. So you have to...
Okay.
Oh no, I'm going this direction. It's like is it faster the other way around?
Yeah, I think so.
I will.
Because then you get.
Yeah, you can also like go through the door afterwards. I feel like no, but I still had to get the Eyemerald, and I think from the Eyemerald point it's faster to go.
Yeah,
we're like real-time routing here.
I'll show you later.
This is like live-action speedrunning, exactly. So this is one of the most interesting boss fights, and you will see why in just a second.
Yeah. Well, the thing you will see here is not unique to this guy, but it's the only one where it's actually like very.
Have you ever felt so annoyed that you just wanted to leave a boss fight? That's what we're gonna do here. Like for the conveniently, like that's gonna be the word of this run. Conveniently, the boss arena is close to the stage, so you can just hop out of there, and that allows us to, for one, hit the boss from the outside because that just works. Oh no! Oh lordy! What am I gonna do now?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to improvise now. This is gonna be great. Let's see. Let's see. This is gonna be great. I love it already. So let's see. We'll wing it. It'll be fine. Somehow it'll work out, I think.
Another risky strat. Should be fine. Yeah.
Maybe it will not. So, I actually don't know if this will work now, but we'll see. This is gonna be like, this is improvised. This is 100% not scripted. I have no idea how to route the rest of this now, but I think it will be fine, actually. So, we're gonna need the rest of the coins, also the other collectibles. Why are we collecting the coins? Because after this level, oh, could have actually just gotten those coins there, right? That would have been smart by me. So I wasn't smart there.
For another.
But that's no biggie, I think. Exactly. Like after this, there's gonna be a chest, and if we have one level where we collected all the coins, then we can actually. Oh no, I'm not gonna make that, am I?
Oh, YOLO.
You know what? I'm gonna.
No. Oh, that's rough.
Oh
well,
no, this is so unfortunate. So. Yeah, right. I can get the rest of the coins. We're gonna have to do this loop another time, which is fine, but it does give us the time to get the coins. I was gonna say I'm just gonna do it with 5 health instead of 6 and skip that health, but now we missed the loop, so I can get all of the coins. But yeah, that's also like a big theme of speedrunning this game, is just there's a lot of time loss in very tiny mistakes, which makes this like a very risky sort of speed game. But it's just very, very satisfying if like the cool tricks all work out. So I'm gonna.
I just want to mention as well that when you go through like holes and stuff like that, the in-game timer stops, which makes some of the things pretty interesting. Because in the individual level strat, you leave the area and you do the obsidian skull area over and over and over and over, just so that the timer will be stopped for as long as possible. So yeah, that's how you get the time
the level
down.
speedrun for the boss looks super goofy, and I love it. Everything is great about it. Pushy Hallway is a great level. It's got so many cool tricks, and we're gonna do all of them. Like there's just like a ledge grab or a cool skip around every corner, basically.
A lot of perfect grabs here, and they used to be easier to do, but they are now harder because the height differs a little bit more than it used to do. But yeah, so that increases the difficulty a lot to grab like those ledges perfectly, and it's a bit annoying sometimes, but it definitely makes you feel good when you actually complete them.
Yeah.
Or you.
Yeah, I could like play it very safely and just walk along this along the wall, but just cutting the corner just makes it faster. I'm just gonna grab this, get this checkpoint for safety. Just we do not want to this last jump to fail. Let me up there.
Good. Yeah, pushing hallways is pretty difficult. It's a hard.
There's like
hard
that's
level.
it's a. Yeah, it's an awesome level. It's like it's got all the highlights of speedrunning Frogun, and I think the world record is like below one, like just under 1 minute if you get it all right. Yeah, I'm gonna do the thing, Giz, and you're not gonna like it. So I'm gonna do another swaggy thing, because conveniently we can enter a skull zone again. It's actually not necessarily faster than just going the normal way, but I just like showing it off. Usually, if you just go the normal level way, you can make it to the skull faster.
RTA timing is probably slightly faster to do this.
But you can also go this way.
But with
if you do it perfectly, as I'm not doing now, like I'm now, instead of trying to get up there, I'm trying to slowly make my way over there. But yeah, it's just whenever you can enter the skull zone from out of bounds, like not out of bounds, but out of the skull zone, it's just a cool strat, and we're gonna see that a lot more. Like that's a lot of the routing for this was been, how can I get into the skull zone in a way that I don't need to?
Like how our perspectives differ, because these infinite wall grabs are not my favorite, but you like some of your favorite strats are infinite wall grabs.
Yes. Like, probably, like, all of my favorite strats at some point involve the infinite wall grab. It's just, like, it's also, like, I came to this game when that was a new tech introduced to via a patch. And it's actually, like, turned some runners off that they introduced that. And I just entered the game, was like, hey, this is a cool thing that I can do, and I just, like, loved it immediately.
Yeah, this is your specialty.
So this is one of my... This is one of my favorite levels. This is my baby level. Like, oh no, I didn't want to do that. Which is why I'm gonna make, like, new weird mistakes that I've never made before. Yeah, this has another cool big jump where we're gonna use an enemy to get some extra distance out of a jump. But first we're gonna have to make it there. This little seesaw, it's a little silly, I gotta say. But it's fine. I'm gonna get this checkpoint here for good measure, and I'm also gonna get another checkpoint there just for extra good measure, because we do not want things to go wrong now.
Tell me what you're plotting.
First, we need to get to... Yeah, I'm plotting. So I'm gonna do the green button.
Yes, of course.
You know what I'm plotting. You know the route. I'm gonna get a pot, and now we're just gonna, like, jump and fail. Or not fail. Oh, I did not know that this was possible. I actually thought there was a death play. This has never happened before. So now we're in. Now we're in for the long ride. So you're not seeing the end of that wall yet, but we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. So if there's a donation, maybe this would be a perfect time to do so. Or you can just look at my face.
Coming at you live right now. So we are actually, hold on, I'm doing math, and that's not healthy for me. We are $544 away from meeting this incentive. So if you want to see this brutal, what is this, brutal rush,
wait.
go ahead and get those donations in right now. Type !D in chat to get the donation. I think.
So this button here is my nemesis, by the way. It's cost me runs aplenty. It's actually, that's for me the hardest thing about this level, is that red button. It's cost me, like, last marathon.
Yeah, for sure.
That was trauma. But we made it. Oh, but I didn't get the speed. I did not get the speed medal. That is unfortunate, which means we will actually have to do the any % route now. So we're gonna go back into Cold Cave and do the any % route, which will be fun. Because we're also gonna see a variation of the trick the trick you saw earlier again. So we're just gonna go past the skull zone. We don't need the skull. We have the skull. We're just gonna go up here. And we're gonna go up here. I'm gonna grab one of these.
Here we go.
So this is the other variation. This is the any % version of that same trick you just saw with the green button. I was very happy when I routed this category that that trick just, like, persisted. So now we also got the speed medal. which means we can carry on. Also, like, probably a good opportunity to, like, in between, I will briefly pause on the map screen just to check if we still have everything. But there's 15 of everything. That's exactly the amount of stuff we want. Here we're going to get our sixth health.
The health upgrade.
Words are difficult. And go into Slidey Spiky Cave. Can you tell me something about this level? Because your run of it is beautiful. Everything. What are we gonna do?
There's a lot of grabs here, like the perfect grabs, and the ending of this level is super cool in 80%. But I think in this category it's not as cool. But you do a pretty super nice stuff. I think I'd say the coolest thing you do in this category is the jump over to the ice in a little bit here. You'll see. You have another perfect grab and another one. So here, you go up here and you go do this one. This
if I hit it, that is. Also, just
it's pretty hard because like the surface of that thing is pretty annoying. Yeah, good. You can also slide off of it if you're too eager or if you're damaged.
So
here you want to go get like the Eyemerald is on top of this thing, so you need to go up here and grab that. But then of course the metal
this
at the
structure.
End is on the far.
This structure is so weird to route around. It's actually wonderful.
Yep.
Oh, come on. Yeah.
It's on the opposite side.
Usually
so
you're supposed to slowly go around it, but you can just quickly climb on top of the roof, get the Eyemerald, and make it to the end.
Yeah. But it's very hard to do it in a really fast way because everything is very out of the way.
Speaking of out of the way, coming up is probably like maybe my favorite level of this category. It's another Jake level, so we're gonna go past the cutscene trigger on here. And we're not gonna like, this is the most out of boundsy level in this category. We're gonna get the Eyemerald. Usually we're supposed to go there, but we're not gonna do that. We're gonna go here. Also, I want you to know this is a Jake level, and Jake levels they don't have like the usual checkpoints that are scattered around the level. They usually just have a couple of them because the game wants you to do a race, and not like abuse checkpoints. Which means I'm gonna do all of this, and hopefully I will not die, because I'm just gonna go back to the beginning of the level. But you're seeing there's just an insane amount of weird tricks, like standing between trees, grabbing onto icicles. All of this is incredibly risky because there's no checkpoints. I will go back to the beginning of the level if I miss any of that. The good thing is that at the very end, that's the hardest part of this level.
Nice.
So we're just gonna jump off here and just get the skull. This went wonderfully. We're not quite out of the woods yet. I still have to make it to the goal. Also, if I die now, I would still lose the skull. So luckily that doesn't happen, and that went great. That was a good run. This is so difficult just because you have to do it all in one go without screwing up.
The game in this level. Because if you accidentally hit the trigger where Jake starts talking to you in the beginning, and you have like walked past him, you will like infinitely walk towards Jake, but you will never reach him because you were at like a lower level. So yeah.
It's hilarious if it does not happen in a marathon, but that's like that soft lock is the sole reason that we're playing on a fresh file. There is like a bespoke speedrun mode that we would usually use.
Yep.
Almost missed run going into the hole. Normally you would play in the bespoke speedrun mode, but because of that soft lock, we play on a fresh file, because otherwise we'd have to like the file would be lost in speedrun mode. Like I could just go into my normal file, but just for extra security, we do a fresh file. The last Eyemerald is hidden here, naughtily. And this is boss number 3, Wintry. There is a cool strat where you can actually take an enemy and use it to make your way over there to the hole. It's super risky. It doesn't save a lot of time, if at all. That's why I'm not doing that particular swaggy thing. However, there's another cool thing that you just saw. This is the only boss fight where you can actually do some speed tech to make the fight faster. As you just saw, like, at the end of her face... Oh, sorry, also sound warning. That sound effect is always that loud, no matter what you do to the sound settings. I don't know why. But yeah...
it's actually something that they... I just want to mention that because... this is something we noted for Moligato, who made the game like, very early when they made the new patches, but this was never fixed.
Probably due to development on the Encore.
Maybe, but I think like there were some other things like when you exited to the main menu and stuff, or the starting world menu. Like you got like really loud audio, but this one was the only one that wasn't fixed.
Wintry just persisted. But yeah, at the end of her face, she always summons these pillars, and if you just get close enough, you're just immediately boosted up there alongside her, and you can immediately hit her instead of slowly climbing your way up there. Also, like these things, you can grab onto those. You can use them to get over there as well, which enables a strategy that is actually faster. You can like leave in the 3rd and 4th phases of this boss, get all of the stuff and return and not lose any time. But it's probably the hardest thing you can do in this game as a speedrun, because you would have to have these RNG-based pillars just align perfectly so that you can grab onto them, get to the hole, and do that twice, and collect everything all right, and not make any other mistakes, so I'm not doing that. You're welcome.
That's a good wintry. Yeah.
But yeah, that was wintry, and that was a good wintry. I think that was 4 for 4, right? Usually I miss one of those hits on the pillar and have to woefully climb up the pillars, but this did not happen today, so that's nice. So I loved World 3. World 3 is great. You just saw some great speed tech. Now it's time for World 4, and like it just gets better. Like this is... I love Worlds 3 and 4. They have so many cool tricks. This is steep descent. Usually you're supposed to like very slowly descend down. This is good word choice for the level name. But by like trickily making our way around the... Oh, come on. Oh, I can stand on that. That's so cool. I did not know that. By trickily jumping around the death planes, we can descend much more quickly. We only need to get the nodes, and then you would imagine that I have to probably go to the right here, because that's where the level continues. However, we are gonna descend even steeper by just like going down here.
Number 1.
Way! Exactly. And there's just the conveniently, that's the name of the game. Conveniently, the Eyemerald and the exit are just down there, and the death plane there is just like 2 tiles wide, so you need the extra distance from like 2 grabs to make it there. But yeah, it allows, and in the any % you can just go straight down there. Yeah, it's an 8-second level, I think, in the world record. So I think I'm gonna turn on auto aiming again for this. First of all, we're gonna make our way to this pillar, and this looks harder than it is. For some reason, it is not that hard to wall climb onto that pillar. I don't know why, I just know it's easier than other walls to climb up infinitely. But other than that, this level is nice because all of the collectibles are just conveniently alongside the normal level path. And oh no, I fell! I tricked you. The skull zone is naughtily hidden there, just behind the level architecture, so you're supposed to like turn your camera around to not miss it. But if you're silly like me, you pretend that you die, but not die. It would have been very sad if I had missed that ruse. This entire world is just, it's gonna be a doozy. Like this is the tip of the iceberg. Coming up is
Not sure about 4-4.
Oh, 4-4. First is 4-3. I'm very happy Giz improved the route for this level tremendously. There used to be a death strat that turned out to be unnecessary. Because you can just like jump over here. You can... Oh, by the way, you can just grab onto fire pillars. Like, there are many things that Renata can come into contact with that she shouldn't. Also, do you remember that, like, Renata cannot swim? She can very easily walk on fire and on, like, magma. So this is taking a bit, sadly. Now, come on. Be nice. Play along. This is becoming ridiculous. There we go.
Yeah, this is usually not a tough... Yeah. This is a pretty difficult jump, though.
There we go.
Same
Oh yeah, I
stance.
will not do the risky thing there, because that works just half of the time. You can actually get onto this walkway immediately after hitting the fly, but it's very, very inconsistent, and luckily you can just like grab onto the fire pillar
But it's so
there
funny
and
that
make
you
it
go
like
around
that.
there. I think that's so hard.
Oh no!
I usually jump up on the wall with a perfect grab.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna die here and get the checkpoint just because I don't want the timer to go that high.
Okay.
And also because the checkpoint is right there. Like, I could have just kept on struggling there, but nah. I didn't want to. Also, if you go to a checkpoint, the timer resets, so we're gonna probably use that another couple times in other levels to just make sure that we get the speed goal for the speed medal. But yeah, the tar swamp. Do you want to talk about the tar swamp?
Yeah, I'm not
I
sure
love the
what to
tar
say.
swamp. It's
Like,
one of my favorite
there's
levels.
There's a lot of annoying grabs. And yeah, this tar is...
Oh,
tar here
I do not want to go
immediately
to photo mode.
So, yeah, exactly. Unlike lava. This is
Unlike
way more
lava.
dangerous. But I think for
Yeah.
the
Also,
SNES category, it's a lot more, I don't know, pleasurable to play this level. I think in 90% there's a lot of infinite grabs and the weird jumps, but these ones are pretty
Yeah.
cool. But early, yeah. You need to
Ah, that was what. I know. I noticed it while I was doing it. I'm waiting for this, so I don't get hit by the pillar early. So usually you're supposed to like very slowly. Oh, that was unfortunate. I thought I could just damage boost out of that. Usually you're supposed to activate buttons and make paths appear, but just by using all of these traps along the way, you can just make your way over there. If you play well, as I'm not doing it right now, you can just like make your way over there via the architecture and do not engage with these silly... Oh, why is this not working? This is one of my favorite levels. I have never played it so badly. So you'll just have to like deal with me for a bit longer. Oh yeah, absolutely. So I'm gonna wait a bit for this platform to return. Now we're gonna get onto that dragon head here. All of this is just very conveniently placed to make this level speed runnable in a cool way. Yeah, now we're gonna get up here. Come on, do it. The convenient wall grab. I love it. You're. Oh, my game just stuttered for a second. That was scary. I do not know why it did that. Oh, come on, let me get up there. I'm actually gonna low-key... Oh, come on.
It's scary.
I swear to God, wall grabs have never gone. I think I should die.
Just keep going right.
There we go. So, do you know the time limit for this? I don't.
No, not a... Like, I usually, you know... Since I only do individual levels, I don't really...
Alright, so we're just gonna see. Maybe all of us will be very lucky and also see an any % run of Tar Swamp, which has like an even more difficult trick than the stuff you just saw. So, if we're not gonna do Brutal Rush, then we're gonna like make this run as brutal for me as possible. Exactly. Frogun, like, it's... Like, casually, it can be a very difficult game. As a speedrun, it can be very, very unforgiving. So I don't know if we're gonna get the speed medal.
Nice.
But this is actually... Oh, we're still getting the speed medal. If the time is blue, that's good for us, basically. So we will not have to redo this one. That's wonderful. Coming up is the next Jake level. Are we gonna see Jake in this level? The answer is no.
No. I think, like, are you going to do the speed strategy?
No, I will not. You can actually like manipulate
Oh,
You can actually manipulate the physics a bit to like slide over the.
that's the karma because you.
Oh
not
yeah,
doing it.
that's the game punishing me for not doing the swaggy thing. I should learn from that and do more risky things. Thank you. So
Yeah.
luckily,
Because I just want to say that because it's such a cool thing. Because if you this is like the only place in the game where you can do it, where you fall down on the lava and you just immediately bounce back on the edge or the side of the wall. Then you would get like super speed towards the corner. It's or the edge. It's super cool.
absolutely.
And you go
So
really, really
I
fast.
highly recommend you also check out the any percent run at GDQ, where we will also see that trick, which is very cool. So we collected most of the things, and we're at the end of the level because, like in any Jake level, there's a shortcut between the beginning and end. But that Eyemerald there in the cage, we still need to get that. And now it's very convenient that we have all of this health, because then we can just damage boost over the lava and past all of these things. That cage is...
Yeah.
The cage
Gotta
is
be careful.
not very good at being a cage because you can just easily jump on top of it with your Frogun. Like, maybe somebody should have attached
Yeah,
a
and
roof
also
to the
that
cage. I don't know.
Yeah, or not put the unlock button inside of the cage. I can kind of feel like that defeats the purpose.
Yeah, like, I mean, the Eyemerald luckily is not sentient and cannot activate buttons. But that's, like, not... That's the luck of the cage makers. That they put an inanimate object in there. So, this is Scorchy. I keep forgetting Scorchy's name, by the way. That's the one boss where I keep forgetting the name for some reason. And it's actually... I did, because I forgot it enough times to, like, remember it by proxy. So, oh no, that was unfortunate. Usually you can make that jump with a bit of air stalling. But sadly I didn't, but it's fine. We're still at the beginning of the level. So we're just gonna try it again. And afterwards, it's like one of the coolest jumps again in this game. Because as you already saw, we can walk on lava, and we're just gonna do that again. And make this big gap that would be way slower to go the normal way.
No health.
Yeah, like I have
There we
2
go.
health left, so I'm actually like a bit focused right now just because I don't wanna choke now. Luckily, conveniently, after these skull zones, usually there's a checkpoint that you can use, and these checkpoints, they will fill. Also, like fire tornadoes, you can grab onto them, because we're a 12-year-old girl with a Frogun.
probably
She's
a fire
impervious to fire damage. Up to a point. Yeah, but that's why she can't swim. Like, she can't swim, but fire is alright. That's probably... That's the new lore now. Renata is a fire Pokemon.
Fire type. Yep.
And together with the Frogun, I don't know, like, there's some lore here. So this is Scorchy. Scorchy does get a lot of points for having an insanely baller outfit. Like, I love the glasses, I love the shoulder patches. Like, that's one, like, what are they called? A greaser from Grease, which is a movie, also a musical. So Scorchy was in that. However, we do have to reduce some points because it's also probably the simplest boss fight out of all of them. So Scorchy has a couple of tricks. He dashes at us. He does some circles around us, and then throws some boulders, and then he hits his head, and then at some point he's dead. So this is probably a good time to read some messages or donations if there are any, because what you're seeing now is what you're getting for the next minute or so.
Well, I've just got a reminder that we are only $544 away from getting that Brutal Rush incentive. If you type !D in chat, you'll receive the donation link where you can make your donation, and we can
Agreed.
see that happen in this run. That would be awesome.
Yeah, Scorchy actually is no... Scorchy will actually be not in the Brutal Rush. Like, there is a trick where we skip 1.5 of the bosses, and the one that is being left out, sadly, is Super Scorchy. So I don't remember if his Brutal Rush boss fight is any more difficult than this here, because I just never get to see it. I think I've literally done it once. So I think we're in the third out of four phases.
Yeah.
Are we? Yes. And I mentioned... Oh yeah.
Well, also, like, it's really hard to speed this battle up because you can grab this block and move it a bit closer towards Scorchy.
That can save...
It's extremely hard
it can
to
save
in
seconds
time.
at most, I would say. Like, there's...
Yeah, I mean, barely.
Yeah, also, like, his attacks are made even
Yeah.
easier by the fact that we can grab in the air twice. It's just like, this is a good breather, because I mentioned how I love Worlds 3 and 4. Coming up is World 5, and World 5 is where things get nasty. 3 and 4 are enjoyable, there are cool tricks, and there are some difficult things, but World 5 is where the game wants to really let you know how punishing it can be. Like, everything in World 5 and 6 is gonna try to end our run, basically. There are wonderful levels, there are super cool tricks, but it's also gonna be very difficult.
Yeah, World 5 has a lot of difficult stuff in it, and yeah, a lot of magic and darkness.
Yeah, the World 5 is pretty dark. Literally, it's like the theme of that world is a dark, spooky cave. So you see these hallway levels; they are always in between the worlds, basically. And World 5 is just gonna be that, but as a world. Like, you can't see very far. Oh no, I'm gonna have to wait now, sadly. There's invisible blocks that you have to
and they
work
are
around.
only interactable if you're close to them. So they can screw you up sometimes because they can like break your path
Yeah, there's gonna be spiders that are in cycles that go up and down that you have to grab onto. Like, everything in World 5 is just a true test of more of your patience and endurance, like, than just your skill. Because the tricks are still gonna be... Yeah, Death Warp, exactly. That's Death Warp number 1, but this is the only level, the only level, I think, where we do 2 Death Warps. Routing this level was super interesting because for many of the levels, you've probably heard me say that things are conveniently placed. This is the only level where it feels like they inconveniently placed all of the things as far apart as possible. Which makes the speedrun... That was... Okay, why can't I grab onto that fly? That was interesting. So this is the reason we have 2 Death Warps in this, just because we're going into all of the corners of this level to collect the stuff. But it's still placed. However, it's still placed somewhat conveniently. I mean, I'm not saying they purposefully put in the possibility of Death Warps, but it still works out pretty nicely in the end. Compared to any percent, though, it does... Yeah, that's number 2. Compared to any percent, this does take a lot longer, because for any percent, you can literally just go up here, jump down, and there's the end of the level. That was completely on purpose, I swear. So this game has auto-aiming. And you've seen me switch between auto-aiming on and off here and there. I will turn it on now and keep it on for the rest of this run, because it will help. Like, if you do not have auto-aiming on, you can do more precise shots that could get interrupted. Wait. I'm gonna do a thing.
Okay.
Because I can! Oh no, I failed! Oh. So, I said I was gonna do the swaggy thing. I'm certainly not gonna do that again, right? I tricked you, I am gonna do it again. And this time it works. So this was an incredibly difficult trick that I just remembered I wanted to do, just to raise the stakes a bit.
I did want to mention that it doesn't save any time, because you need to wait for that cycle anyway. So it was just for the swag.
Oh, wait. Oh, it is? I can't wait. Okay, I'm gonna have to... Afterwards, I'll have to do some maths. But it's a cool trick. The death plane is just right above where you can like grab over there. So it's super risky. It's super cool when it works. So, oh my god, I was so scared. Like, these spiders, they can throw you off. Like, if you grab onto them and then they decide to leave, you will fall to your death.
You get them, it feels good.
Yeah, totally. This is one of the most satisfying things. I'm gonna get the checkpoint. The other Eyemerald is just here, up here for a reason. I'm getting the checkpoint because you can actually, like, very unluckily slide off these bones there, which I had to learn, I think, at a different marathon. Oh no, that it almost happened there. If I had gotten that spider, I would have died.
Mirage Cave
ironically.
is rough. Yeah, it's a rough level. So.
But yeah, that was Mirage Cave. Yeah, it's only gonna get worse from here though, and better. It's gonna be better and worse.
Spooks.
That's the beauty of World 5. There's so many cool Chamber of Spooks. Home to one of my favorite tricks, maybe the coolest trick in the entire game. You're gonna see me do cool zigzag stuff over nothing, and it's probably as difficult, if not more difficult than it looks. So, focus time. That was unfortunate. I'm gonna try it once more. Especially since I haven't actually missed it in a while, so that was... I am on my unlucky day, but that's fine. It's more time for charity, frankly.
Nice.
There we go. So yeah, that was... that's super difficult, and also just the way the pillars align, it all conveniently makes this super cool
it's
trick
even
possible.
cooler in 90%.
That's really what... Oh yeah, and... What? In any percent,
Yep.
that trick goes on. There's like a sequel to that you only get to see in any percent. But here we have to make a slight detour to collect some stuff. We do have to activate a button for reasons. This world has a lot of buttons, so we're gonna jump into there. We've already skipped the green button. We don't need that because we can jump in here from the outside and climb ourselves back out there. Thank you. Oh, nice. That worked perfectly because there's another button that we needed the red button for, because there is the second Eyemerald, and there is sadly, as far as I can tell for now, no way to skip these buttons, which makes the route super interesting, but also hard.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, you get to see more of the level. That's like, you get to see more of this great game, and it's not even easier, it's generally harder.
That was good though.
And next up is Dark Place. Dark Place used to be my least favorite level up until GDQ, basically. Because Trader, the runner who ran at GDQ, like, the day before the marathon, he found a skip, basically, in practice. And it also still exists in this category. He dubbed it the Leap of Faith, and you're gonna learn why. But first, we're gonna have to get all of the different things. Also, you can, of course, grab onto these things and damage boost off the fire, because, as I mentioned, we're a 12-year-old girl. There's just certain things that that kids can do that adults like us cannot do anymore, like jump into fire.
Yeah.
That's what kids do, right?
Yeah.
Oh lordy, that was somewhat unintentional, but that was fine. Spiders are...
You get, yeah. I was just gonna warn
this
you
is
about
the probably one of the meanest spider cycles. So first I'm gonna safely, like, I could make this trip a bit shorter over the invisible blocks, but I want to play it a bit safe now. And leap! So conveniently, the rest of the level is just down there. And we can jump down there. Oh, I'm gonna get that checkpoint for good measure, because the skull zones starting in World 5 are just gonna be very, very mean. They just want to end your run. Everything wants to end your run, especially these skull zones. So you see, there's a bunch of breaking, moving platforms, and you have to just deal with it. Which we will. So starting in World 5, more caution is definitely advised. But this actually went really, really well, so now we only have to make it to the end, and there's certainly nothing else that could go wrong at this point.
Spider cycles. Wait for the spider. No.
Yeah, I will. Like, I could have probably taken that, but I'm actually happy I didn't, just
Yeah, it
for
would've been risky.
the health of my soul. So, coming up is the big moment we've all been waiting for. For 4 worlds, we have only seen our rival on the hub world, but now we're actually gonna race Jake. He's very scared, so we're gonna keep him as some company. Just like be like, hey, you're not alone in
Jake.
this, even though you thought you were. But there's actually there's another 12-year-old here with you. So what could go wrong? So this is Jake. That's what he's gonna do. We're still gonna skip most of the things, and we're not gonna finish the race properly. But this is the one cutscene trigger that you cannot skip. We're gonna go to the end of the level and activate this checkpoint. Because, oh, you can actually get stuck in this here. I learned that from Trader that you can get stuck on the button there.
It's not
There's...
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that. See, I'm learning new things. It's always great when you learn new things. So, we're still gonna jump down here because you see we have everything except the skull. Now the race is off. Like, if you die, the race ends, but we had to get back here to make it in here, because conveniently, the skull zone is also just next to the exit. So it's really beautiful how all of the collectibles, like, it almost feels like this game was made with the intention of this category in mind. I don't think it is that way, but it's in my head kind of now.
To make a statement.
So I will... yes. So, 29, we have 29 of everything. That's the number we want to see after level number 29. And coming up is Hexy. And Hexy is probably, like, it's the coolest boss, probably, in a lot of ways. Just design-wise and as far as the variety of... attacks is concerned, it's probably one of the coolest. It also has like a very, very cool trick that I'm excited to show you. Also, this is one of my least favorite skull rooms because, I mean, look at this. Look at all of these things. I'm really, they upset me. But this went well, and now the rest of this is more or less identical to the any % route. Because all the collectibles are just gonna be along the way now. That's mostly a thing for the boss levels.
Well,
almost like,
at least.
hey, where do I put the other armor? Just put it there against the wall. I don't know. It's fine. This section, yeah, this section is pretty cool though. I really like it. Just like topping off
Do you think
the skull shenanigans we've seen so far.
Or something after the Hexy fight?
Why that? Yeah, why should we call Renata Neo? So, Hexy has a lot of attacks, and they're all like sort of like elemental based. We already know that Renata is a fire Pokemon, but actually Renata is a dual type. Because Renata is actually fire psychic type, and she can just repel Hexy's psychic ball with her sheer willpower. Usually, this weird ball is supposed to chase you around and do damage. But if you stand perfectly still, it will just do nothing, and you can just grab it afterwards and attack it. It doesn't save any time, but it definitely makes this fun, this fight more funny. Also, this icy wind, usually we're supposed to be in the middle of that, but it turns out it's easier if you just walk outside of it, and then you don't get hit as much.
Yep.
A fight
Pumping
full
the
of
bullets
conveniences.
with your hand.
Yeah, so that's gonna be, there's gonna be 2 more phases, so if there's any messages or donations, this would be the perfect opportunity.
All right, I'm coming back for you. I'd like to talk a little bit about the charity if we have the time to do so. So Equality Texas and the Equality Texas Foundation work in tandem to secure full equality for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer Texans through political action, education, community organizing, and collaboration. If you would like to donate, please type !D in chat to get the donation link. We are only $544 away from meeting that brutal rush incentive.
I mean, that's that. You can spare some change, right? Yeah, that brutal rush would be amazing. Like, it's a lot of fun. Also coming up, like how are we on time? Like how am I gonna go overestimate? What do you think, Geese?
If you don't include a brutal rush, because we're at 102.
Alrighty. 102, that's fine. Yeah, we're entering the final world, and 102 is actually a solid time for that. I would say, for a marathon, because World 6 is for the end of this run. It's gonna like ask everything of us. First, oh yes, we love to see it. That's very nice if this works. That's if you don't make that ledge grab and don't get that, you can miss that spider and just have to wait for a cycle. I'm gonna die here for safety just to make sure I get the speed medal, because there's gonna be some infinite wall climbing shenanigans coming up.
Nice.
There we go. That did not take too long, but we're gonna just follow up with another one. That went perfectly.
Good grab.
Oh no,
Nice.
I sometimes forget which of these holes I can grab onto and which one I can't, but there we go. Also, because we actually missed grabbing onto fire tornadoes a bit, so we're gonna do it some more. Because it's so cool to just like take your Frogun and see a fire tornado and be like, hey,
We have another
I should grab onto
tornado
that.
to grab, so
So this is
that was really good.
Oh, nice. Right there. Yeah, that was that's one of the hardest perfect grabs, I think, just because bouncing off the mushroom just puts you above the perfect height to catch that, so it's much harder to parse. But yeah, this was the transition level into the rest of World 6, and World 6, we're in a temple,
Money.
there's coins everywhere, and
Money.
World 6 is the world of gold, treasure, everything. And it's a doozy. Compared to the other worlds, the levels here are more designed like bigger puzzle boxes where everything is scattered around rather than linear levels where you collect stuff off the road. So there's gonna be a lot more going to the different corners. I'm gonna do another safety death here just for good measure after I've collected that Eyemerald, just because I do not want to run into time troubles with this. So the funny thing is that the level, the any percent, in any percent, this category, this world is actually the
Yeah,
shortest.
it's really short.
After World 1, I think. Just because you can very easily get to the end of the level. It becomes much more difficult and much more interesting, frankly. Oh no, I missed the Eyemerald. If you have to collect everything, just because the game makes you go to all of the corners. So going past these big worms, I love these worms. Shout out to the worms, or caterpillars, I don't know what they are. They're wonderful, I love them. But this is also the world where time constraints become the biggest issue. If you're not careful enough, that is. So this skull zone we can just completely skip. Conveniently, the exit is close to where the entrance is. And we do have all of the things, so right here is the exit. And that actually went
It was good.
pretty okay. Except that Eyemerald, but that's fine, that's fine. Also, remember to stay hydrated. That's also very important. Drinking plenty of water. Treasure Vault is gonna be home of, again, one of the most difficult tricks. I keep saying that, but there's just a lot of them. I don't know. There's a lot of difficult tricks in this. Nah, I'm gonna take the death because, like, usually I just do the death warp, but you can actually make your way back faster if it works out right. So here it is. This is gonna be super difficult, so I'm gonna concentrate.
Yep.
That was... So the hitboxes of these grasshoppers, they are there. But they sometimes just don't want to play along well.
Nice.
Yes!
Right. Cool.
So that went perfectly, and this just skips a lot. Also, it conveniently places you like
It's
right
Eyemerald.
next to the first Eyemerald. So again, just that was actually close with the time platform there. Thank you. And now a number of big jumps, another damage boost, and this actually, I find this place very scary here. Okay, these disappearing platforms, they throw me off a lot, so this level went great. Like, that one death, that was absolutely expected. That's what the generous estimate is for, so I can show up stuff, so great level. And this world, it just keeps coming at you.
Foundry is
the Foundry
is a large level.
3 levels left, and the Foundry. Yeah, please. Can you talk about the Foundry a bit? What do we normally do here? What would you do instead?
There's a lot of buttons, and there's a lot of stuff, and there are 4 paths. You saw like one in every direction, and you're supposed to do a lot of puzzles in every direction, and you like beating one way will unlock the next one and stuff like that. But obviously in a speedrun we don't really follow the rules, so we just jump around the big gates and do it in whichever order we feel like is fastest. You know.
Yeah, in any percent you see exactly 1 out of the 4 paths, and that's the path towards the exit. Here we're gonna see 2-ish paths
two and a
because
half,
we
maybe.
have to get the collectibles. One path just gets skips completely. Yeah, that's a sitcom. 2.5 paths. So conveniently, this hole brings us back to the beginning, and I'm gonna get another checkpoint there. And there you already might glimpse the next Eyemerald. I used to do a death threat here until Geese showed me that you can just get the other things first.
Nice. That was good though.
And not have to bother with this. And then we just jump over here. Yeah, now we're on the final path towards the end, so this is now hopefully not gonna go bad. This gem there is very tricky. It looks nice.
Yeah, because it looks like it's
It is deceptive
wall,
is the word.
But
It's been nice.
It's really weird. Like, it was at a good cycle there, but sometimes when you feel like it's a decent cycle and you jump, you will just die. So it's way trickier than it looks.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
So we're taking a deep breath. This is the hardest level in the game. It's the penultimate level. It's the hardest level. It's the final Jake level. In any percent, this is the shortest level. It's the world record is shorter than 3 seconds. In SNES, yes, shout out to Nocturne, who is great at this level.
Yeah,
it's like 3 seconds, not even. But it's gonna... something like that, yeah. But this is gonna give us a hard time, because as a Jake level, there's no checkpoints. We're gonna get the skull right at the beginning, which means if we die at some point, we'll have to re-get the skull. Sadly for us, the rest of this level is insanely difficult, so you might notice that I'm a bit tense now. This level it's a run killer, basically. You can lose a lot of time, but let's hope it doesn't happen.
That zone is actually super hard, and you made it look easy there, but it's actually super hard. So.
For me, that skull zone is actually the easiest part of the run. Like, I'm scared of everything after that, because that's where I screw up. So,
Here,
one Eyemerald left.
Ooh, wow, that's good. That can
Yes!
create a lot of issues if you don't get that. Okay, and you gotta take these in order because there are.
You don't have to. You can actually maneuver around them, but I don't dare to.
Yeah, I mean, it won't it's barely faster. So
yeah,
you should.
And here we go. That went kind of perfectly. I'm really happy.
Yeah, that was really good.
We're not quite out of the woods yet, but this was maybe the hardest level, but the finale is not a pushover either. We're coming up on Beelzebub. Beelzebub is gonna be the final boss of the game. He has 5 phases, and you do not want to die there, because I think the fight itself is around 3 minutes long. And if you choke there, you do not want to do those 3 minutes again. I'm gonna go the safer route with the flies. You can bounce on top of them and make it to that gem there. And there I choked. Usually that's not too difficult a trick, but I had the camera aligned wrong because I was still thinking about the grasshoppers too much. don't think about grasshoppers too much.
Yeah.
So,
One thing you can mention as well is that, like, we haven't said this before, but, you know, the angle matters a lot from when you...
oh,
hit the wall.
twice!
So-
Lordy, that never happened before.
Yeah. You really don't want to be at, like, an above a 45-degree angle when you hit a wall with the Frogun. So, that's what, that's
Yeah,
what's
like-
going wrong there. But if you get, like, a perfect grab above the wall...
How
you're
do I
usually
keep
fine.
missing this? Ah, there we go.
There you go. Yeah, the perfect
So
grab.
luckily in this
That's what you
level,
want.
again, conveniently, everything is just along the way. The last skull zone is interesting because we do not really go into a hole for it. Although we did just go into a hole, but also the skull zone is here. We just like entered it, and it's gonna be hell. It's gonna be everything we do not like. There's gonna be floor, like the lack of floor, basically. And we're just gonna... I have no idea what the normal path through this is, by the way.
Take it easy.
But here we go.
You'll
And then
let
we're
you
just
help
gonna
to-
drop down. We get hit. That's
Just make
fine.
sure.
That's fine. That's fine. We're gonna have another. I'm gonna take this one. Why not? I don't even think there's much that can hit us still before the boss, but it's fine. Oh. So, final room before the boss. And Beelzebub is gonna give us a best of the other bosses, basically. He has a couple signature moves, and every phase he's gonna do a different combination of things from other bosses. So we're gonna see all of the moves again. But final Eyemerald, we have the condition met for SNES. We if we finish this fight without looping a phase, we will make that speed medal.
It's way
So
harder than
this attack here, yeah, this attack can trip you up for real. This is Prickly's bounce, but the lasers of Beelzebub, they can really be mean to you because they're RNG based. So the way we hit Beelzebub is by pulling these things under his butt at the end of each phase, and if you just grab them diagonally, they go the maximum distance. So it's actually really convenient for getting it right where you want it to be. So we saw Prickly's bounce. Now we're gonna see one of Kiki's attacks. We didn't see that attack because we were doing something else in that level. But Kiki goes back and forth. And Beelzebub does that too, but meaner. He does it twice and there's fire coming out of his butt. But if we just align him so he goes parallel to the wall, we can just watch him have a good time while we do not get hit.
Out of 5.
There we go, hit number 2. Yeah, and also for this fight, it's also a good reason to have extra health. I used to do any percent with only 4 health, and the boss fight did cost me a number of runs. I will not disclose. Now this is stolen from Windtree instead of ice pillars. There's flames, and we have to sneakily hide behind pillars to not get hit. And the trick is, you always want to stand on the side where Beelzebub is looking. We're looking, he's looking. So... Oh, come on. I have seen the attack that he does at the end of that exactly once. I have, like, it's... If you keep calm, it's very difficult to screw up hitting Beelzebub, but, I choked hard once, and I saw that attack, and it's not fun.
You should do the safe strat at the end.
So there's...
Yeah, you should. Yeah.
Should I do this? I'll ask chat. Chat, should I do the safe strat? I can cheese the final attack, or I can do it like a big speed boy.
Definitely
What do you want? Cheese or cool? I don't know what the opposite of cheese is. Yogurt.
Definitely cheese, yeah.
Okay.
Cheese.
If the people have spoken, so I will definitely cheese the final attack. Also, we're in the final phase, so we're gonna see everything again. He's gonna bounce back and forth, but there's also pillars, and they are scary. Look what they do. I'm playing without my hands. I don't know what's happening next. I think he's gonna do the ice thing, right? Yeah, there's the icy wind. Also, there's fire. Also, the music
fire.
is such a banger. We have not talked about the soundtrack. The soundtrack of this game is great. You should absolutely buy this
Here we
game.
go.
It's wonderful.
Jeez.
And
There you go.
now... Stay hydrated. So, time for the final hit. Also, that's super free. Like, you can do that at home. Buy this game, do it at home. That is Beelzebub. We're gonna hit time once once the screen disappears, and time. That was Frogun. It's a wonderful, wonderful game. It's a great casual platformer. It's super unique in its mechanics. It's got wonderful janky physics that are just begging to be exploited. There's lots of content. Doing 100% of this, there's a lot to do. There's gonna be a follow-up expansion sequel that's gonna add more mechanics. I love this game. And yeah,
We
Geese, do you want to
more
say
people
something still?
Playing and
before
speedrunning this
we-
game. So you should try it out. It's really good.
Yeah, there's a Discord. There's I made a speed tech guide for this category and also for the game where all of the tech is explained. We have a Discord where you can hang out and ask things and share runs and stuff. And yeah, shoutouts to the Discord. Shoutouts to Speed Stuff for having us. Shoutouts to my family who always supports me doing silly speed things with a frog hat on. And yeah, shoutouts to Twitch chat for choosing cheese. Sending lots of love. And thank you.
Thank you
Bye.
both so much for that run. That was so entertaining and such a cute game. What a fun run. Thank you both again so much. And thank you, chat, for watching Speed Stuff for Charity, or Speed Stuff for Trans Lives too. We're here raising money for Equality Texas because trans rights. I'm your host for the next couple of hours. My name is Nezu. We're going to be taking a quick break to set up for our next run, Hotline Miami with Jackal. Type !D in chat for the donation link. And don't forget to check out www.equalitytexas.org for more information and drink some water and all that stuff. We'll be right back.